gentlemen, welcome to the big one, episode 10 of MPWF WAR, ladies and gentlemen. We sum up 10 episodes of great action from the MPWF WAR brand, ladies and gentlemen. We come to you here from Tokyo, Japan, for one hell of a night. And we're going to kick things off with a big-time singles match between Tommy Douglas and Helios Christ. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in here to MPWF WAR episode 10. We celebrate 10 episodes of MPWF WAR here tonight. And here's Tommy Douglas making his way to the ring. This is the first time that Tommy Douglas is in competition since he challenged for the United States Championship on episode 8 of MPWF WAR. Tommy Douglas had a great showing against Shaun Stevens, but tonight he looks to defeat the big man, the unwanted shadow, Helios Christ. We interviewed Tommy Douglas last week. He said that he's prepared to make it back to the top again. He's prepared to get back that United States Championship. So we'll have to see how Tommy Douglas does in front of this budding Japanese crowd here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because we are across the seas. We're across the borders, ladies and gentlemen. And again, we're emanating from Tokyo, Japan for this huge episode of MPWF WAR. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge main event later tonight as Ricky Cash faces Zack Ryder in an Extreme Rules match. And here comes Tommy Douglas' opponent for the evening, the unwanted shadow Helios Christ, who was screwed by Shaun Stevens last week in a main event against Tendanciz, where the winner would get a United States Championship match tonight against Shaun Stevens. And the question is, why did Stevens pick Helios Christ? We heard all night last week that Shaun Stevens wanted to get Tendanciz, and then instead of screwing over Tendanciz, he screwed over the unwanted shadow. I gotta say that's a bad move on Shaun Stevens' part. Helios Christ is a scary individual. He's sick. We've seen what he's done to people in the past. Look at Jason Rage. Look at where he's at right now. He's in a wheelchair, sipping food through a straw. I mean, that's the type of thing, the type of damage that Helios Christ does to a person. I have no idea why Shaun Stevens would want to infuriate Helios Christ, but he has. And now Tommy Douglas has to deal with that infuriation here tonight on MPWF episode 10 of WAR. And again, Helios Christ will be taking part in that triple threat match for the Money in the Bank at MPWF Starrcade. Make sure that in 2 weeks' time you tune into MPWF Starrcade. It's going to be one hell of a show. Like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, again, huge main event tonight. Ricky Cash goes one-on-one with Zack Ryder. Again, Zack Ryder, Ricky Cash, Extreme Rules. And also we have Brian Adams, who is the World Heavyweight Champion, who will be taking on Reese Bobby. And as we explained earlier during this entrance, Shaun Stevens will be defending his United States Championship against Mr. Money in the Bank Tendanciz. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a great show, lots of wrestling, and this crowd here in Tokyo, Japan is going absolutely insane for MPWF WAR action. This is going to be a great week here in the MPWF. I mean, tonight we're in Japan, on Annihilation we're in Great Britain. It's going to be fantastic. And here we go. On one hand, we got Tommy Douglas, who needs to win this matchup to get back a victory to look towards that United States Championship. And then you got another man in Helios Christ who's looking to absolutely punish someone in it because he's in a foul mood after what happened last week. And you can see Helios Christ already going right at it against Tommy Douglas. And Douglas now trying to reverse here. You know, Douglas with a headlock there and a nice elbow to Helios. And a big clothesline there by Tommy Douglas, the Canadian hero, the Canadian sensation, taking down Christ. See both these men in foreign territory tonight as we're here in Tokyo, Japan. I mean, this crowd here, it's been an amazing on this trip so far here in Tokyo. I mean, we've done house shows all around Japan, ladies and gentlemen. We toured the Middle East with a War brand. A nice move out the corner there by Helios Christ. I mean, one day we were in China, we were in Thailand another day, and like I said, we're here live for MPWF WAR episode 10. Again, we're celebrating 10 episodes tonight of MPWF WAR, and I look at the strength here of Helios Christ as he takes down Tommy Douglas and drives him head and neck first into the mat. So Helios Christ is not in a happy mood at all right now, but Douglas catching him there in a headlock, and now gonna, oh nice forearm / elbow to the face, knocking Christ down. Douglas isn't afraid of nobody and will take the fight to Helios. Tommy Douglas, again, as we've said before, he is looking to win that United States Championship. He came oh so close to winning that title 2 weeks ago here on WAR. A nice, guillotine into the rope there by Tommy Douglas. As a very prestigious championship here in the MPWF, the US title. So many men look to become that champion. So many men look to be on the tops of the United States division. A nice move there by Douglas. And now Douglas seeming to be in control against Christ, sending Christ right into the steel steps here. And Douglas has seemed to slow down Helios, the former world's heavyweight champion. Oh, what a boot there by Helios Christ, completely changing the momentum in this matchup. And now Christ has Douglas up again. And look at this on the outside of the ring this time. Modified black hole slam by Helios, and Helios now breaking up the count, heading back outside, now throwing Douglas back inside the ring. Now bouncing off the ropes, and oh, what a big time boot there by Helios. And now Helios setting up to perhaps hit that Death of Jason Rage move to finish off Tommy Douglas. Oh, has him in a headlock here. No, another debilitating DDT there by Christ. And now Christ going for the cover here. And that could be it. 1, 2, oh. Nice kick out there by Tommy Douglas. And again, ladies and gentlemen, the MPWF will be hosting MPWF Starrcade, a joint CPV, a mega CPV, where you'll see War and Annihilation matches in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be a fantastic event. You got the World's Championship matches. Brian Adams defends his championship against Ricky Cash. That's quite a rivalry that's brewing up here in the MPWF. And Douglas, not sure if he got all that double X handle, but it was enough to take down Christ. I mean, with Helios Christ, he's going to be taking part in that triple threat Money in the Bank matchup against the United States champion Shaun Stevens and Tendanciz. I mean, the tag team titles will be on the line. The Gotham Society must defend their championships against the Super Sparks Brothers at Starrcade. I mean, and speaking of the tag team division, later on tonight, we'll have a non-title version of that match here in Tokyo, Japan. The Super Sparks Brothers will take on the Goth Clique, and Douglas going for a cover here, and oh, Helios Christ able to shoot the shoulder up. It's been a pretty, I don't know how to, impactful matchup between these two men. These two men have really been taking the fight to each other. I mean, Tommy Douglas definitely showing more of a mean streak recently here in the MPWF, something which is definitely not frowned upon, something that is definitely needed, and a big elbow there by Tommy Douglas. And Douglas going to throw Helios Christ into the ring, and now going for a big power slam, and go for a cover here. Here we go, Tommy Douglas, 1, 2, oh, kick out there by Helios Christ. Douglas now, oh wait, Helios Christ with a reversal. There's a big power slam there. Douglas hoping that that could have been it, but Helios Christ now trying to fight back here as he twists the wrist. And now, oh, nice reversal there by Douglas, and a big net breaker taking down Helios Christ. And now Douglas coming off the top rope with a double axe handle and connects there. And now Tommy Douglas in control right now. Big kick to the gut. Tommy Douglas, ladies and gentlemen, setting up for the Douglas bomb to finish off Christ. And Helios Christ may be defeated on this night here on MPWF War Episode 10. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, Helios Christ just got the shoulder up. Referee Marty McFly may have counted that pin too slow there. And Tommy Douglas now with a net breaker, but Tommy Douglas is feeling it in this matchup. Tommy Douglas can sense that this one isn't over yet. Tommy Douglas can sense that it's coming soon for him. And a big back suplex there to Helios Christ. He said this will be detrimental to Helios Christ heading into Starrcade if he loses 2 weeks in a row. And Christ fights back with an eye rake. And I was going to throw Douglas back into the ropes here. And what a matchup we're seeing here. Oh. Overhead back body drop there by Helios. And Helios sending Douglas into the ropes here. Oh, what a boot. What a vicious boot by Helios Christ. It was so powerful, it sent Marty McFly to the outside of the ring and knocked out Tommy Douglas. And now look at Helios Christ. And Helios Christ is in a bad mood, and he's looking to finish off Douglas with a steel chair. Now throws it at him. And now, oh my goodness. Big time backbreaker there by Helios Christ. Using the steel chair to his advantage on Tommy Douglas and a huge right hand. Now referee Marty McFly now picking up the chair. Doesn't even know who used it. Just knows that it was inside the ring there. And now look at Helios Christ. Watch this move here. Watch as he throws Douglas across the ring. Nothing but vile impact. And that steel chair there may have been the deciding factor in this matchup, as Helios Christ is looking to end this match here. What an uppercut there by Christ. And now Christ switching to the Fujiwara armbar. And now he's just looking to punish Tommy Douglas. I mean, he's just looking to put him through some insubordinate pain. And now, oh, Ladies and gentlemen, chokeslam by Helios Christ. Nothing but vicious impact as Christ takes down Douglas. And Douglas is still shaken from that chair shot. And ladies and gentlemen, here comes the death of Jason Rage. Nothing but vile impact as Douglas hits the mat here. Helios Christ now going for the cover. And I'm afraid that's it. 2, 3. Good night, Tommy Douglas. Your victor, Helios Christ. Well, I mean, that was one hell of a way to kick off episode 10 of War here tonight. A big matchup, and you see that was the backbreaker after the steel chair shot, which you're watching on the replays. Look at the impact of this chokeslam here by the Unwanted Shadow as he takes down Tommy Douglas, and this is what finished the matchup right here. The death of Jason Rage. This move is just as sick as its name. And then Helios Christ went for the pinfall, the 1, 2, 3, and then you have the victor. I mean, Tommy Douglas put up one hell of a fight here tonight in Tokyo, Japan. Helios Christ had to use the chair to gain the advantage in this matchup, but nonetheless, Helios Christ is victorious, and Helios Christ now has built some momentum heading into Starrcade, and he's still in a bad mood, and you know that he's going to want to get his hands on Shaun Stevens as fast as possible. I mean, now he's arguing with referee Monty McFly, and he has no business doing that. Helios Christ with a boot sent Monty McFly to the outside of the ring early in this matchup. And now look at this, Helios Christ is going to give us one of those rare promos with a microphone. He's going to destroy Shaun Stevens at Tendanciz at Starrcade, and I guarantee you that Helios Christ will do that. That's the type of man he is. What does that even mean? He's going to win Money in the Bank and Darkness will take over the MPWF. Well, that's something that I know many people don't want to see. And you know that if Helios Christ becomes Money in the Bank, then I mean the World Heavyweight Championship will be in jeopardy for sure. And now look at this, somebody arriving here, and oh my goodness. Right here, it's that sick man Vermongo, who abducted Joe Eagle's son last week. One of the most heinous actions I've ever seen in my entire career here as a commentator. And look at that, there's Marcus Eagle, who's upset. And now look at this, Vermongo with hired protection, hired security after the abduction of Marcus Eagle. And now right here, this makes no sense whatsoever. What is Lamar James Jackson doing with Vermongo here tonight? Well, I hope Joe Eagle gives it to Jackson after last week, but you see here, Zack, Ryder, and Brian Adams have been having some issues. Did Zack Ryder just quote Mark Wahlberg from the other guys? Did that just happen here on MPWF WAR? I mean, like they say, anything can happen here in the MPWF. Anything can happen in car wrestling. Look at Brian Adams and Zack Ryder trading the insults here. Captain Dickhead. I know I wouldn't want to be known as that if I was Reese Bobby, but ladies and gentlemen, when we return, MPWF WAR will continue. Hopefully these guys can regroup